I was a municipal representative on the Metropolitan Fire Brigades Board, and I got a phone call from command headquarters about 6 a.m. to tell me that there had been a fire at the town hall, and I was taken into the command centre, which was a fire vehicle out the front. They were still really mopping up after the fire, and I was shown through the building for about 3/4 of an hour, and that gave me the magnitude of the damage.
It was shock and concern about the loss of the heritage fabric of the building. I was really interested in buildings of heritage value, and knew that this was a special building and was worried about what had happened to it. I wasn't really particularly concerned about how we're going to function. It was more about what had been lost.
Well, the damage was horrific. This room looked absolutely ruined. The organ was gone or wrecked, and I'm surprised. I think if a few other doors had been closed, I think the whole place would have gone up. I was absolutely shocked. We had a meeting at the Betty Day Centre, an emergency meeting of council. I think it was 6 or 7 o'clock, I can't remember exactly. And that was really, it was a horrible meeting. People just were in disbelief. And I guess, seeing as I'd been the only one who went in, it was really impossible to convey the damage that had actually been occurred. But I remember that meeting was just awful. It was just, people were stunned.
It was a critical building of social importance for the community, for events and dances and balls and functions, going right back to the Victorian era, probably, and through the 2 World Wars and the Depression and the mass inoculations. And I think it was the loss of that memory. I remember talking to my grandparents a long time later, and they recall dancing in the hall combined with the supper room, because the 2 halls were linked by 2 openings, and people could dance all the way around the 2 rooms, and it was one of the largest and best dance spaces in Melbourne, especially for dancing like waltzes. So it had a lot of sentimental value for people. In terms of documenting the aftermath of the fire, I didn't seek permission. The security was very lax in that time. In a fire damaged building, you wouldn't get that ability to walk around a building now. Ever since I was younger than 10, I used to go around Melbourne photographing old buildings, and I just decided I wanted to record the vestiges, the remains of the town hall, showing its damaged glory. There was something quite magical, in a sense. It's a strange word to use, but almost romantic about a ruined building.
It was just a community loss, and it was hard to comprehend, and there was a lot of doubt about what the future of the town hall would have been. It's amazing that it was rebuilt the way it was.
There was a lot of despair, I think, in the community, because this fire was one of a number of fires that happened before and after of iconic commercial and institutional and public buildings in St Kilda, starting with the Palais de Danse in 1968. Then there was the St Moritz ice skating rink in 1982 that burnt down. The St Kilda station in 1989. So there were a number of fires, and it was part of a sort of a collective, cumulative despair about what's happening to all our old buildings. Why are they all happening and burning down in St Kilda? What's wrong about this place that we're losing all these buildings? The impact of the staff relocation to the library in Duke Street was, well, because it was just the St Kilda Council staff, we could be accommodated in that space across the road in the library, and that was the only thing that was available in the short term. So I think it was quite novel and quite fun. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was just the novelty of working out of a library and at breaks just browsing through the books in the library. The T-shirt competition wasn't to raise funds. It was to raise staff morale and to commemorate the event. My drawing was of the front of the town hall, showing the bare, charred roof beams, which was a big feature of the building until they demolished that, and a whimsical St Kilda seagull, which was singed and had just flown through the fire, metaphorically, and that won the competition. The Rupert Bunny painting was one of the great losses of the fire, even though it wasn't directly affected by the fire because the fire didn't penetrate through the walls, but the heat was so intense that the heat penetrated right through the walls and bubbled the Rupert Bunny painting, the paint on it, and just stripped the colour. The heat just stripped the colour out of it. It was so difficult to restore that it would have essentially been recreated, a new creation, not the original painting anymore. So the decision was made to just hang the painting, which is now in the foyer area, as a sort of a memory of that iconic painting. And I remember reading about art historians said that the lost Rupert Bunny painting had been found because they didn't know it was in the St Kilda Town Hall, and the news of it being destroyed brought to their attention that it actually existed.
Ashton Ray McDougall were appointed the architects for the building who designed the building brief, and all the councillors approved every step of the way at that time. There was relief that the building had been virtually saved and that something would happen.
I'm glad that they turned this into a more modern interpretation of the hall, but with references to the old fire, with these charred sections behind and the damaged plasterwork.
I really resisted being on the building reconstruction thing because I'd been in the building that morning and saw the devastation, and it looked like there was not much that could be done to retrieve the building. So I'm very pleased it's back and it's here. It's for everyone to enjoy.